think twice. No, you can't fuck with me tonight. Remember times when you turn your back and believe it. I ain't believe it. Now I'm on the crypto. On the crypto over here. Let's go. Pull up in the Tesla, fit like Elon. Internet money, that's what we on. I just made a 20 off of 3 coins. No kissing.
Hey guys, what's up? Can you hear me? Are we live? Trying OBS today to see if things go better. Still had a rough start because it took the old stream. But let me know if anybody's there and if you can hear me. I think I'm live. What do we got? Anybody on right now? I saw we were waiting on one. Looks like it just went live. Hello, hello, hello. Anybody there? Can you hear me? Test, test, test. See if my internet speed is good today. Yeah, should be able to work with that. Yeah. Looks like I'm getting some delays. Let's see what's going on here. I don't see any comments yet. Let's see. Oh, I'm not on the right chat thread. Not using. See, live chat. There we go. Seeing if anybody pops up in here. Don't have anything to cover specifically today, so up to you guys what you want to discuss. Open for suggestions. Trying to see if the right one is streaming or not. Looks like 6 minutes ago, so I'm not even sure if it's live or not. It says it's live on the OBS side, but can't tell. Ah, there you go. Okay, yeah. I think we're working. So who do we got for today? This is my first time using OBS to stream. Before I was using StreamYard. So running through some testing and technical difficulties as always. And you never know how it's gonna show up. And I think right now, getting like some latency issues. My internet seems fine. Everything is lit. All right, so I got it from Oceanic Estate. Cool. Can you you hear the music? I'm guessing this time as well. Is that finally actually playing? So, like I said, don't have a specific topic to cover right now. I do have some of the videos coming out later today, I think, that go over some of the other stuff in the ecosystem. And now that I switched over to that kind of the content calendar, today is kind of just open. So I'll be covering community projects, which the big news for me is coming up will be Triple D coming out this week. That's a community project, technically, in my opinion, even though I know Forex took it over. or it's gone through the official team now, or they're part of the team, however you want to call that. That was a community project. So going to be covering that, covering Seifu Go launch, because that's, I don't think you would call Brian Legend part of the community, but the fact that he's pairing drip and doing something with it, that's, you know, you can decide if you want to get in there and see how it works. So that's anything, basically look at anything that's utilizing drip at this stage, because I think that's what's needed. Before, I was also filtering out projects and unsure and whatnot, but at this stage, I don't care. Anybody that's willing to do something with drip need to shine some light on it, and then people need to make their decision and go and look and see what they think about it, because we need something right now for drip. And Triple D is a great start, but I don't think it's the end all be all. We'll need more than just that to stave off this inflation that we got ourselves in. So there's that. But again, this will all be an upcoming video, but we can talk about any of those things. So you got Triple D, you got the Seifu Go project, you got this auto drip burner that I've been seeing passing around, and then you have one other one that I'm drawing a blank on that I was talking about. But yeah, Oceanic State Seifu Go for sure. Yeah. Looking at that chart, I cannot fault whatever Brian does in regards to marketing, man, because he clearly knows how to generate hype and excitement. I saw the Discord announcement. To me, it was it's kind of flat. I watched it. I went to his channel. He hyped it up, but it wasn't anything new that I didn't already know from him about the partnerships. So he put a lot of hype out there. There was a lot of people live on his stream. And I don't think the token pumped during that. It definitely pumped before that. So people sold the news at that stage. But yeah, he does a great job with marketing and generating hype. Yeah, because it was up to $1.80. So, and also like him putting out publicly that he's not going to sell that big bag of Seifu that he has. So yeah, there we are, $1.88. That's crazy. And then 50 cents. I'm still up. I bought under $1, so I bought a small bag right below $1, and I'm just gonna see what he does with this, because yeah, I don't know. At a minimum, he's generating enough hype and eyeballs on his project, and the fact that he wants to do a blockchain. So people doing blockchains tend to generate a lot of hype as well. So to me, it's worth it to just hold a little small moon bag and see what happens. Hope there's no latency issues, because I think I'm getting some latency issues on my side. Seems like it's not connecting fast enough. Let me see if I change this real quick. What do we got? Are we live or is it premiere? We live. It's in the title. Yeah. Yeah, there was a issue, Matt, with my original. So I was trying to schedule the live through OBS, and apparently I did schedule it because it was showing up. And then when I tried to go and connect to that pre-scheduled live, I couldn't. Or I didn't, or if I did it wrong. I'm not sure. So I had to end up doing another one. So I created a second stream. I'm gonna figure this thing out eventually. The more of these I do. So at least I'm now running through OBS. The next piece will be scheduling it and connecting to the one I scheduled versus scheduling it, starting it, ending it, and starting a new one. So a lot of trial and error. I am definitely not the what do you call that? The live streamer. It's an entirely different world. Thanks, Matt. Yep, OBS struggle at times. Yeah, it's quite simple in like the software. They have a lot going on, and it's a really simple user interface. Like not very over the top, but it does a lot. And if you don't know your way around it, it's yeah, it can be confusing. And I don't play with it enough, you know. So I use it to make the videos, but literally that's just hitting record and then hitting stop. Once you set it up and just do that, there's nothing else you need to do. Yeah, but only when the market comes down from a peak. Bless you, good sir. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Good to know. Oh yeah, speak so, Matt, since you're in here. And that's you're the health and fitness arena, and you remember my original project, the shit, what was I calling it? Fit Pros DAO. Yeah, that's right. So, and now I have Change 360. Well, I already see, and that's kind of why I've been pushing Bitfighters so much. I see that these pieces are aligning with me for my end goal. Like, my end goal is to empower the impoverished, and I believe that health and fitness is going to be one of those ways. Like, if I can find a way to inspire, motivate people to do physical activity, then and then by doing so, especially the ones like out here that I see that, work on a daily basis. They're out, farming or walking around collecting cans or, outside doing construction work for $5 a day, whatever. Those people, if my long-term vision of an actual decentralized blockchain that uses your own sweat equity to mine the token, that's the way to me to bring up the lagging 60% of the population that lives in poverty, right? Because if you have them able to mine their own token through the physical labor that most of them are actually doing, then we bring up that 60% of the pie, and then we bring up the entire global economy by doing so. So anyway, how this ties into Bitfighters, ironically, that dev is a huge gaming person and understands long-term gaming value. So he's making this Bitfighters game. It's all about basically not having whales wait to be able to pay to win and just put in a bunch of money and take over the entire system. So it's geared towards people that really want to play the game and earn. And having a connection with someone like that, I think long term, I could align our visions and somehow now have this game that I envision that I want to have. So that's always been my long term goal, is like this it was a battle card game using sweat equity and things of that nature. But if it can be something even more in depth, then that would be awesome. So that's where this fits. What up, DeFi crypto boss in game? Noble goal. This resonates. Yeah, well, like they say, do what you love. You never work a day in your life. And at least with this, or I forgot the other saying, but yeah, what would you? Yeah. I think it was one of my influencers mentioned to find your passion. It's like, ask yourself, what would you do every day, even if you were failing? Like, what would you be willing to work on or do or whatever, even if you were failing at it, even if you weren't getting paid for it, even if there was no end in sight. And this is my forever project. Like, I believe in the holistic health and fitness aspect. I see, man, firsthand, like me personally. So I can tell you a personal story from my side. So when I've always been in health and fitness, being a personal trainer, so you're expected to maintain peak physical physique, right? But when COVID struck and we actually got locked down here, man, that was the first time in my life I ever experienced what I'm labeling now in hindsight as depression. I was like, I don't feel like working out. I don't feel like eating right. I don't want to do anything. And I was like, Jesus Christ, like nobody's immune to this. When you are a trainer and you have these tools, you get yourself out of that suck, but that was still work. I still had to do that. So I was like, okay, this affected everybody in some way, right? Of course, they took away your gym and you couldn't exercise. That made it more challenging. And some people were freaking beasts and warriors and walked marathons in their house. But these are those were the few, not the norm. So the mental wellness piece is huge, huge, huge. So that's where my holistic wellness aspect comes from, because I think it's lacking from the typical toolbox that a lot of health and fitness people embark on. Well, proof, hell yeah, that's a friggin' rad, man. So Bitfighters melted into health and wellness. So smart. Yeah, like, it probably won't be Bitfighters itself as health and fitness. That would still be its own game. But as Zach mentioned, he's into building games. He just likes to build stuff and tweak stuff and continue building. So at a minimum, I think I could either get him, as if he had the time, to help build this out, or help be a what do you call that? Someone that oversees it, advisor on it. And again, at a minimum, he has access to people in the industry that could build it, you know. So basically, what I say all the time on the channel, collaboration over competition. So working with Zach and helping promote his game, seeing how he's being gate kept, I'm building a network of people. That's exactly what the Crypto Ranch project is all about, is putting all these like-minded people together, because to me, that's the only way DeFi survives. Crypto, it survives. Like, crypto is at war with the industries and organizations that control the world. So make no mistake about it, that's a war. And then, of course, DeFi for sure within that realm. And then, of course, our little drip projects. So if we want to see those survive, we have to work together. And ironically, Zach mentioned this on stream with the last AMA he did on drip strategy. And he said that because he's a project manager. So again, we really identify and align on a lot of things when we started talking. So I've talked to this guy for like 8 to 10 hours over last week, like literally talking, getting a good feel for who he is. And he talks from a project management side, not just a game developer side. And his one piece, you can watch it on Drip Strategies channel, is actually, I think I have the clip here so I can actually play it. He said, and this had nothing to do with Crypto Ranch, he knew nothing about my project, but he's like, in order for, or what he sees needs to be done, is there needs to be, the community needs to get together, vote and support projects, because everybody right now has their fragmented projects and eyeballs on different areas. And because of that, it's hard to get focused energy. So he mentioned everybody needs to like focus and point that direction, that energy on one direction. And that's exactly what I put together now with Crypto Ranch 2 months ago.
Together and create this official like launch platform for these projects. This is that you guys all need to get opinion on this, is that you guys all need to get together and create this official like launch platform for these projects. And basically like take these all in, like Drip 21 or whatever else, and prioritize them, and have whoever wants to be part of this vote on these things, right? Like get this like sub, I don't know, I want to call it sub, get the community, we're just going to call it what it is, get the Drip community over here to look at what you guys are like having in your portfolio. Have everyone vote on one, create some kind of voting system for everyone to log in and vote or whatever, I don't know. Prioritize and whatever, and then have everyone focus their energy on this one thing. And this is it, guys. There's the most value here. We've all looked at it. We all voted on it. We all agree. This is the one we want to do. And put everyone's, because if you split all these projects up, it's like, it's too much going on. Forex is over here is telling everyone to go do something else. So you don't have any light on your stuff. And it's just, everyone's all over the place.
See, what do you guys think about that? So that resonated with me for sure. And shout out to DeFi Crypto Boss Drip 21. So that was mentioned in that stream. But this is someone coming from a corporate background with project management experience and happens to now develop games. So, and this is exactly what I told my team and stuff like that. I was like, don't let perfection become the enemy of progress. We need to get a minimal viable product. We need to get all the energy focused on just doing this, because once you get something out, whatever that something is, you learn from that and you can iterate and you can improve. But if you're doing 1,000 different things, it just doesn't work. DeFi Crypto Boss and Matt, you guys are also in the health and fitness space. Like, you know that if you want to get results, you got to get people to just start focusing on one thing. They're like, oh, well, what should I eat? What time should I eat? When should I drink my protein shake? How many reps should I do? It's like, I'm like, yo, bro, wait. You know, right now, what's your sleep schedule look like? Can you go to bed on time? All right, let's knock that out. Cool. How much water do you drink? All right, can we add some water to your day? All right, cool. Have you even exercised? No, you never have? All right, well, let's just get out the bed and do a couple squats first, or walk. You know, it's like one thing at a time and knock that out. You can't give someone Arnold's shortcut to our blueprint to size or whatever the hell that was, the Arnold Bible, and say, hey, read this. You'll be swole next week. Like, it just doesn't work. Everybody, you have to focus everything on one arena. What up, Rock Ape? Matt, yes, it can happen to anyone. I also went through a time where it didn't work and usual measures didn't light up the fire. Depressions are good. Yeah, facts, Matt, facts. You should create a document that shows all drip projects or have it on a website. Yeah, like I didn't make a document, but I did tag everybody in a couple shout out videos because I was trying to get that focus onto that. Well, I can't say I was trying to get focus onto that because again, there's so many projects, but I was trying to get everyone to see that even I had to, like I said, eat that humble pie, eat that crow, swallow my pride and say, okay, yeah, I realize I have my projects, but I can't be selfish, because in order for Drip to succeed, there's different flavors for everyone. And I had to me, that the first step to that was showcasing all these projects, even though a lot of those projects, nobody ever reached out to me to allow for me to be a part of them. And I was salty. Ain't gonna lie. I'm like, yo, I've been putting in my brick and making content all freaking for a year, you know, and nobody even bothered to ask me if I wanted to be a part of this. It's like, I knew they knew I existed, but you know, I swallowed that. I'm done. I'm not upset with that anymore. I've processed that. Woosah, woosah. Or link for all drip related projects. It's a damn truth. One thing at a time. We're similar trainers. We're similar trainers as well, coach. Yep. Facts. Discipline beats motivation every single day. 100% Rock 8. I think you stole that from Arnold Schwarzenegger. I can't remember where I heard that quote first time, but yeah, that's definitely 100% facts. That's what I tell people as well. Mel Robbins has a great quote, because she's the author of the 5-second rule, and she's got the high five habit now, and I think a couple other books maybe in there. But she was on Tom Bilyeu's podcast, and Tom asked her, and I think that podcast went viral, one of those clips. And I tell all my clients now, I use that quote all day, and I use her as my excuse to say it. She tells people motivation is bullshit. and that there's no better way to sum that up. It's true. You know, there's motivation is only there in our psyche and our human DNA and hormones to get us to do the things that are kind of fun and exciting. You know, you're motivated to go to some event with your friends. It's like you're motivated to see this concert of your favorite artist. You know, you're excited about all that shit, but you're not motivated to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go run in the rain. That ain't happening. That's all discipline. Oh, Shannon can stay. So you guys heard the clip. I hope that played through. So I'm guessing since people are commenting, you guys heard that. That was on. So there's a bunch of nuggets dropped in this AMA. I clipped them out, and that's going to be in my video coming up that I have on my channel. Basically, I'm gonna finish the back and forth. So I put it all in this upcoming video about between Forex and Bitfighters. So that's all in this one video here. Yep, this one. And I basically took clips because it came out in that AMA with DeFi Strategy and Legacy 7 and Zach. So that's going to be my last time that I go back and forth on that. But yeah, at least finally we get the other side, because there's been a lot of stuff happening in the ecosystem, and we either get secondhand information from other content creators that supposedly are there, and so it's filtered. It's going to be given through a lens. Or we get it from Forex himself, which of course, you know, we all filter everything. You know, no matter how unbiased you want to be, the human nature does not allow you to relay something without your own slant or tint, because that's literally what you're designed to do. You take in information, you filter it, and then you regurgitate it. Even if you were quoting someone, like you literally read a quote, your vocal variety and your intonation and your facial expressions, all these things will have your own personal slant. You can't take it out. So what I'm getting at is this was the first time that someone from behind the curtain finally came out and we got it straight from them. And of course, they're going to have their own emotion and coloring on how that exchange went down. But that's great, because we have Forex side and we have now Bitfighter side. And that was relayed on that AMA. So in this video, you're going to want to watch that, because I kept myself out of it. I only made a couple commentary points to introduce the videos, but I didn't say anything about them. I tried not to. I try not to. It's difficult to not want to inject your opinion, but I highly suggest watching that. And if you guys are watching my live, I'm sure you guys do watch my content. Gate on the vocal is a little steep, just saying. Gate on the vocal is steep. What let's see. How do I don't even know what that means. Sounds like you actually have some experience in editing, stuff like that. So if you could tell me exactly what you want me to do, then I can fix that. So there is a noise gate filter on OBS. So I have compression, noise suppression. Maybe if I just pull this up, you can see this here. So I don't know how to adjust these things. I actually watched a video to set them. Yep, motivation is bullshit, 100% stolen. It did play through, yes, perfect, awesome. We be under the hood. Ripping this part, be a part. Salute, brother, appreciate it. El Gato Crypto, yeah, appreciate all you guys chiming in. For me, it's 5 a.m., 5:30 now, something like that. So, yeah, G1 ID, anything in here you can direct me towards, because like I said, I have no idea what to adjust. When you say the gate is steep, I mean, I guess that's high, but the only thing I have that says gate is noise gate, and yeah, I don't have no idea what to do with these. So freedom using drip. That's a new FUD acronym. I still don't get FUD. Like, to me, that is ridiculous. That was a video I was going to make, but I couldn't find the receipts for that. But you guys know as well, because you're in the ecosystem. So it's funny. I can speak directly about, I'm not in it, so I can talk from the outside in. Pulse Chain launched, right? Pulse Chain, and a lot of people in our community are in Pulse Chain. And a lot of them were very vocal, very negative about Pulse Chain. Why is it that they can express negativity about a project they are in, right? There's this code of don't FUD your own bags. And so we know they have Pulse Chain bags. We know they're in Hex. Because we've seen multiple content streams on this. But yet when it came out and it did not meet their expectations, they were very vocal about how they felt. But that was okay to FUD your bag in Pulse Chain or Hex, but it's not okay to speak about drip. Like, FUD is just, to me, it's just people that lack cognitive like abilities to process things. Like, they're just very emotional. They operate from the lizard brain, so they just operate off emotion. They don't have the prefrontal cortex online. It's underdeveloped. Something has happened, so they're triggered, so they only do one thing. That's it. And whenever you try to get them to articulate another side and have a discussion, they get triggered and they result to just emotional outrage. So what I'm getting at is that, yeah, you can talk critical about Bitcoin. You can talk critical about other tokens that you're in, but you cannot talk critical about drip because it's FUDding your bag, but you can FUD your other bags. So I don't get it. I just don't get it. It's so weird to me. Like, as a person who's literally built a business from the ground up, from scratch, in a third world country, and also had online dropshipping businesses and worked for companies and things like that nature, I've never been in a business where no one was allowed to give you feedback. Like, I don't get it. And public feedback at that. Like, you're encouraged to go over to TripAdvisor and any of these other websites. I forgot the one for food, but you're encouraged to leave a review, and a scathing review at that, especially if your experience was subpar. Like, only in crypto and DeFi, because DeFi specifically is about FUD, don't FUD your bags. But I'm not in all the other projects to be tapped into communities to hear if they're also crying about negative information. I'm guessing they are, but only for me, I'm tapped the most into drip, and it's where you have these people that just, yeah, their lizard brain is online. That's it. They can only operate from there. It's sad, because I don't know how they're going to make it in society as we move forward. But unfortunately, you need people like that, because they're the ones that, help make the flywheel go round. Outrage is easier than accountability. Facts. Salutes to you, bro. Just heard about this. What would you say is the minimum amount of money you can start up with? Start up with what? Need more context, more bits. Can't talk about Mighty Leader like that. Oh, well, I didn't say anything about Mighty Leader. I did not even bring his name up in this. I said just about drip and flooding your bags in drip. Only about projects outside of that. Drip never stops dripping. Oh yeah, that's going to continue to happen. It's just going to be, the question is, nobody ever questions whether drip drips or not. It's going to be what the price of those drips are worth. And if we as a community don't do something to keep that price up, then I think we might be at all-time lows again. Where are we at? But if we don't do something to keep that drip up, then you're going to be getting fractions of a penny. Now, that's why I made that video about Seifu, because they went from fractions of a penny and bounced out of the bottom like that. Again, different tokenomics, but that at least gives me hope. And this was 18,000x when it was at $1.88. It's like, damn, yo, 18,000x from a very, very supportive community and from a developer who had his name dragged through the mud. And that was in his latest Discord. He was talking about that. And that's somebody that gets it. So that's a perfect example right there. Perfect. I don't have the clip from Brian, but you can go to his channel and he talks about it. He's pretty short and to the point. But in this last AMA he just did about his project launch, he actually said, so he streamed it here. I'm not going to play it because I had to find it. But he actually said in here that old quote about there's no such thing as bad press. He's like, yeah, I had my name dragged through the mud. My project was labeled a scam. I had all these things, but look at us now. That's somebody that gets it. He doesn't care or cry about FUD. He doesn't cut one side of the argument or the narrative. He lets it be out there, and you can find it. It's out there. And for some odd reason, so someone who is labeled as a scammer by some other people and had his aunt or somebody brought on stream by on-chain crypto or some crazy shit. Like, I mean, they went deep on this guy. They cut him deep. And for some odd reason, his token has bounced out of the graveyard to $1.88. So if that's not the power of having someone who's operating from their limbic, their prefrontal cortex, and able to leverage marketing and the negativity in the space and let their actions speak for themselves and show proof of concept, then I don't know what is. Like, that's why I don't get FUD. Like, here's a perfect example that had someone that had tons of FUD and it did not affect their project one bit. Of course it did. Like, it went to the shitter. Don't get me wrong, right? But if you cut through that noise and you were buying down here, damn, dude, that was just 6 months ago. 6 months ago, we were at $5 drip. 6 months ago, he was at less than a penny, and he's now much higher than us with drip. So, if I had to pick one, I would prefer the latter. Where are we at? Are we at, yep, we're back at all-time lows again. So 23 cents is our all-time low. I don't know if we got 22 or not. So, anyone can talk however the hell they want. Yeah, about whoever. Yeah, that should be the case. We used to have this thing called freedom of speech. I heard about it. Supposedly, for at least the U.S., it was its constitutional right. But, and I used to remember as a kid, there was this saying that we had sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. But for some odd reasons now, words hurt very, very much, and you're not allowed to express yourself because just thinking those words is harmful. Rocket, accepting / talking about the criticism is actually the first step for other communities to come over or people that left to come back. 100%. Well, you're not going to get that side of the narrative. That's not going to happen in the drip community. I'm happy to share it. Like, I got no problem with it. Yes, sir. Shit, I'll take $1.88 drip price. Who of us wouldn't, man? We would be happy. Like, I remember shouting from the rooftops when I got into drip. It's like, oh, imagine a year from now when you have this much drip and drip is at $50. And then we were like, well, imagine if it's at $25. Well, 10, 5, $1. Okay, I'll just take a quarter, please, sir. Like, that's where we've gotten to. Yeah, I heard about it as well. Coach, words were allowed back when they had real sugar in the orange crush. Facts. Exactly. You know, that's what you want it to be. I agree. So, ironically, though, we have bounced off of this quite a bit. So I can at least give the community that. But the issue, as I keep mentioning, is nobody knows what's going to happen with this. all this accumulated drip. And that is going to be the hard pill to swallow. Now, it's just simple supply and demand for the drip token price. But let me pull this up. All this liquid drip sitting on the side is reason for concern, at least. Unfortunately, it's reason for uncertainty because we don't know what's happening with it and people are accumulating it. Now, using logic from what you see in other crypto projects, whenever people accumulate a token in their wallet prior to a big event, it is because they want to sell the news. So that being said, there is some expected dumping of these liquid tokens, because anyone who's been in drip knows that common sense says if you want to get the most out of your drip, you put it in your faucet. But if it's not in your faucet, then that means you are not trying to accumulate any more of that drip. So these are just facts based on the tokenomics and how the drip price works. So since these people, highly recommend you guys do this. So come in here, go to private name tags and name things so that you can actually do your own research is what we're told to do. Now, granted, it will actually, when you start doing more research, you're going to end up with more questions than answers because you're like, why is this money going over here? This is strange. But at least you did your research. So anyway, what I'm getting at with the holders and all this drip being accumulated is that, and I think we are just over, I think drip started minting at maybe in June. So we're not even at a year yet. But so we got this. So this is 6.2 million. So 6.2 million, we add up the pancake swap and the faucet, right? 6.2. And we have 14. That is crazy. 8.4 million drip in wallets. And the bulk of this, I showed you guys, has been accumulated since January. That is scary. Because at any time, these people could dump. Now, granted, these people accumulated at these low prices, so there's no profit right now. But if drip pumps like we expected to do with Triple D and these whales, now granted, here's the other thing. This is the uncertainty part we don't know, because they bought in at low prices. So that's basically like getting your raffle ticket below $1. So they could very well take some of that liquid drip and put it into the faucet with a sacrifice. That would be bullish for us, 100%. So we don't know what the fraction is. This guy could dump a bunch, which will make sense because guy or girl, because they would be in profits. So they bought around these 23 to 50 cents, so sub $1 level. And we know the taxes, so you can speculate. You'd have to go and see where they bought at, but let's just say they bought at a large portion at 25 cents. And then that's the buy tax, sell tax. So they need a 20% increase. So let's just give them a 2x. So at 50 cents, they could dump a lot of drip, 100%, right? And they'd be in profits. But they could also take a large portion of this and sacrifice it because they're like, oh, I bought my raffle ticket for less than $1. So, and to buy into the raffle, it costs $1, but you can sacrifice your drip. So they're able to get more spots to get more drip in their faucet. So that's the thing. There's total uncertainty on how this will play out. That's why I haven't done any real speculation prices yet, because all we've seen them do is accumulate. Now, also 1.7 million of this, I remember the exact number, 1.7 million of this 8 was accumulated before like the $5 drip prices. Because you can go back and look at the charts and see that. Cutting in and out real bad. Now it's solid. I think, yeah, Matt, you mentioned this in one of my videos. I think what that is the my processor. So when it gets to like 100%, I think that's when it gets choppy. So I don't have a way. I try to turn off everything else, but I don't have a way to fix that. My way to fix that is for drip to pump and me to buy a new laptop. That would be nice. The minting is what fucked us, no doubt. It's like negative feedback. Yeah, for sure. Well, it's the double negative feedback. So you got minting and you got negative price action. Nobody wants to get in this, not this. If we look at this, this looks pretty nice for the 90-day chart. It's like, oh man, great. But we go over here to our beloved drip price. And that's also funny. Like, man, they got a big warning here. And it doesn't seem to stop people. If anything, it's helping. Drip drops. Somebody stole that. So the chart doesn't help us at all. So the minting is one thing, but this is just worse. So our 90-day chart is worse. We already know what the rest of it looks like, but you had this little curl up here. So this is, we got down to 22 on the native. So if we go back, our 30-day, are we green with the 30-day? No. 14-day? 7? When is that? Oh, 7. We're green with the 7. Hey! All right. Don't zoom out too far. When in doubt, zoom out, but not too far. So again, like I said, though, there's room. So that's also why I know that we do not have 100,000+ people in the drip community, because we would have much more volume. So when you heard Forex or some other content creators say that there's 100,000 people, that is 100% false. Now, we can't prove it, so I can't say 100%, but that's 99.99% false, because we would have much higher volume. Seifu has 150,000 some odd wallets on their, when you look at their BSC scan. So wallets is like the same, but they get more volume, and they were getting even more volume at the lower prices as well. So 154,000 addresses, and I think we have 146,000 addresses. So, but their volume per day is like in the millions. 24-hour trading volume, 926,000. And they had a much higher volume as well, even when the token price was much, much lower. So that shows you that there's more people buying the token, even though, again, the tokenomics are different. So maybe the people for us, well, actually, no, that doesn't make any sense, because if the token price is down and you believe in the project, you would accumulate more of the token, even if you have a max drip account. So since we didn't see the same volume, it's easy to deduce that we don't have the same people. Plus, anybody in drip knows that the average person has more than one drip wallet. So there's that. Drip should have, let's see, the minting bucket. Yep, Drip should have launched with a more extensive feature set. I can't really say that. I think it was the perfect feature set at that time. You don't know what you don't know. And that's why constantly putting out stuff is better than, again, like I said, don't let perfection be the enemy of progress. This space is so unknown, so much uncharted territory. You don't know what's going to pop off. You don't know what people are going to get behind. So the best thing you can do is keep putting out stuff, getting a temper test on your community. It's like, since Rock Apes in the chat, it's like what we're doing with Drip Marketing DAO. We don't know how people are going to resonate. Like, we have our opinions, we have our biases, we have our, oh, I've been marketing for X number of years, I know this works. No, you don't. It's a different community. It's a different culture of people. They're in different walks of life, different stages. So you got to put something out there and see what they resonate with. So Drip was the same way. It was perfect at its inception for where it was created and that part of the market and everything. And then what should have happened after that is leveraging that momentum versus trying to create something that you as the innovator or creator thinks people want. That's exactly why I like Bitfighters and what Zach is doing. We talked about this for hours. He's like, I'm not going to put out all these different features and stuff on the roadmap when I don't know if the gamers want this stuff. I was like, that's exactly right. Like, you get it. Thank you. So he's a gamer. Like he said, he's been playing since a controller could fit in his hand, and he's been developing, he's been creating stuff. So he automatically wants to make stuff he likes, but he also understands that just because he likes it doesn't mean others are going to like it. And that's what you have to do if you are a visionary or a creator, or you want to make something that is going to be worth a bunch of money to other people. You can't make the product you want. You have to listen. If you plan on having people buy your product, you have to listen to what they want. Hence, again, right back to FUD, right? You have to be willing to take in critical opinions, objective thought about your product. You can't go, you're wrong. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. Get out of my face. If you can't improve your product, if you're not willing to listen to the people give you criticism on your product, it's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. Let's see, drip should have launched. Yeah. To keep the conditions under the hood healthy. Let's hope that their time. I re-engaged with people started accumulating when Forex mentioned lending was coming. Yeah, I don't buy the lending. I don't think it's coming. Yeah, I got into that narrative as well. What I hope is my goal with the Crypto Ranch project is that we can actually do the lending ourselves. And I never showed this, but there is already a liquid lending platform. So I don't know. So don't quote me on this. I can't say what Forex is going to develop is this, but that's what this already is. And it's already sponsored by BNB and, you know, a whole bunch of other big names. So it's called BNB Open Leverage.finance. So you can literally short drip if you wanted to. So what they allow you to do is take any crypto asset, anything on the blockchain, well, anything on Binance. And you can come in here, actually, you know, Binance, Arbitrum, Ethereum, and KuCoin. So you can take any asset and you create the liquidity for it. And you can short it, you can long it, you can borrow it, you can lend it, you can trade it, you can do whatever you want. It's already there. What he's trying to create is already there. From what I understand he's trying to create, it's already there. So lending can already be created. You can come over and deposit your drip. You can put in the capital for that, and then people can borrow against it. So it's already done to this degree, and it's decentralized. This is a decentralized platform, and like I showed you, it's got all the support from the big names. So drip used to actually be here. It was here at one stage. Somebody did have a pool for drip, and they were shorting it. But this is the borrow and lending that I think rather than we're inventing the wheel, it would be coming over here, seeing how things are done, create a pool, and yeah, leverage against that somehow. And here's the APYs and all this stuff. So it already exists. Borrow and lending for drip can already be done in a decentralized way. Let's see. It's contingent with a certain amount of onboarding. Yeah, for the price to appreciate for anything in DeFi. So DeFi, crypto period, even Bitcoin is one big Ponzi. Like, don't get it twisted. Bitcoin has proven itself because people are like, okay, I understand the math. So since the math checks out, then I am going to buy this magic internet money as a real utility and a hedge against inflation and the fiat Ponzi. But it's still a Ponzi until the utility is put out there and people adopt it at mass level. So now that Bitcoin has gotten mass adoption, it's proven it and it's moved forward. But any other asset, it's just magic internet money. And until community support it. So it'd be no different if all of us were actually living on a drip island somewhere and we decided to exchange drip in exchange for goods and services. So we got health and fitness people, they build a gym. You got Rock Ape, he does farming and gardening and shit. So he's making our plants and shit. Maybe there's some other people who do cattle, whatever, right? And if we decided to exchange drip for that, that's it. It's the same thing. It's magic internet money. It's a exchange of goods and services that have no value unless the other person is willing to accept it. No different than trading baseball cards or Pokemon or Garbage Pail Kids. Like it doesn't matter. So all markets need adoption. All markets need other people to come in on the other side of the coin and buy it. It's just the way it works. Seifu has that many wallets because they sent Seifu to every wallet that had Titanium. Oh shit. I didn't know that. Okay. Well, again, since those are not staking platforms that are minting out, then all those people are more than likely legitimate individual people. Scott B, I guess the $1 million question literally is, will Triple D be enough to offset the tsunami of self-pressure that will inevitably hit with enough price appreciation? Don't know. That's a great question. Nobody knows. But what we do know is the vault here. The vault's not here because we're minting again, right? Can't find the vault. But we do know that it's just supply and demand. So if we can go back to this though, if we get this number down, where are we? It's BNB drip balance. Ah, here we go. Here's the vault. So we get more drip in there, then and people start buying the token, then we can actually, that's the vault. But this right here is what I talk about, contract balance. So supply. When we get this down, so that was the one I wanted to look at. Let's go back. It's actually the first page. Funny how you forget how to do things the minute you're streaming live. It's like, I just went stupid. So So if we can start getting people to buy from here, which is the goal, that's exactly what Triple D does and what any buy pressure does. Once this number starts coming down, then drip pumps. So it's not hard to see $1 million come into here. That's low volume for any token. I showed you Seifu had $1 million to come into there. So we've had over 1 million in the volume video I did. So once we get this to come down, and it's going to have to come down and go back up. So we get $1 million that comes in one day, and then some people dump. Then we get another billion, they dump again. We get another million, they dump again. So we got to have the green chart so that new money's coming in, or people are buying into their existing positions, building new wallets, sacrificing, whatever the case may be. Then once this starts ticking downward, yeah, we're in a good spot. And we will be able to weed out all this liquid drip for sure. After the dust settle, where are we? I.e. all the max wallets are sitting and waiting to sell once the price is right. Yeah, of course. That's what I'm doing with my drip. Like, I'm actually accumulating it as well, but I'm not taking it out of my wallet. Like, I basically come in once a week now. This is my lower one. Yeah, and let it sit here and do, because we've been delayed. So once a week, I would come in here and just compound what was left. And that way, if we do have a nice pump, because I have been doing positive actions in the drip ecosystem, I want to be able to take some out and sell. I'm not going to sell all of it because I don't want to. I do believe in the long-term vision of the community supporting drip. So I do believe it'll go much higher than here. But my ROI is around 68 cents after taxes. So if I can sell a couple drip at $1, that'd be great, because I've only made 3,500 out of the 41K that I put in. So I'd like to get a little bit higher ROI. So I would actually claim some of this, sell half, redeposit the other half or so. Not on this wallet, on my Max. On these wallets, I'm just going to compound back out to Max. So on my Max wallet, I can switch to that. Transparency for you guys. I ain't got shit to hide. One of the ones showing you everything, like behind the scenes. Showing you the little pennies I make on my YouTube channel. Struggle is real, man. You ain't getting rich off of YouTube. I mean, you can. I'm not. Let's put it that way. While that pulls up, I'll read through the rest of these. After the dust has settled, where are we at? After the dust has settled, we will go to the moon and stay there. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to the moon. I do believe, well, I guess anywhere above where we're at is a nice moon trajectory. So I'll take that. We're definitely not going back to all-time highs. Crypto Chef bought in at the top. Damn, I feel you, bro. You're right there with me. February 6th, I got in. I didn't buy the top. I bought the dip and thought I was smart. It's why, in my opinion, we should have launched new UI. Then next week, the analytics and the new timed, the Triple D, gain some momentum over the course of 2 months. Facts. That's because you are marketing, and also, you understand building on top of things. So 100%, you get it. That's exactly right. You're supposed to iterate and get feedback. Let's see. Stunner didn't get rich off drip selling. He added and compounded that first year and hit 7 million. That's how you win. Yeah, I did exactly that for over a year now. So it's not working out the same due to all of the additional max wallets and how low drip has gone. So Stunner bought in at $3. That was the low for drip. And he was able to build a max wallet, and it shot up to 197. Unfortunately, now a lot of us bought in at $3. And even with both those max wallets at these prices, I'm not going to get rich. I'm going to barely break even. So that was great then, but that does not work now. That narrative of just accumulate the coin is not 100% true, because the coin has to be worth something. And if we as a community don't do something to make it worth something, then you just have a bunch of coins that are worth nothing. Winning. Hashtag salute. Mad Max wallet. Keep it 100. Facts. Yep. So that's where I'm at with all of this, and we will see. So I am looking forward